I'm here at the green carpet premiere for Sherlock Gnomes. It's a gigantic sized adventure for these rather small gnomes. Everyone's about to come down. There's some guest people coming today, so I'm going to be interviewing them as well. What would you cook for a gnome?
Ooh, some nice mushrooms, sauteed with some garlic and some butter and on toast.
What's it like being so tall and playing someone so small?
It's a real stretch. It's a very difficult thing to do, to imagine what it's like to be small. I can't remember ever being short. I can never remember being your height. I assume I was your height at some point. I didn't come out of my mum full size, but yeah, I can't remember. I feel like I've always been tall. It's very hard. I try and play very tall characters on the whole.
A lot of the gnomes in the film are based on one of the most romantic stories of all time. What's the most romantic thing you've ever done in real life?
I think I took someone up the top of a mountain in a helicopter to have a picnic. That was pretty romantic. I don't really know what else. I think sometimes the smaller things can be romantic. Like making somebody a cup of tea can be romantic if it's at the right time and in the right place. Making somebody a cup of tea can also be the start of an argument. So it's like, a romantic thing can be a tiny gesture. It just depends on the situation, I think, and it depends on the intention behind it, doesn't it?
Have you seen the first film, Romeo and Juliet?
I have. My daughter's 4 and she's a very big fan of Romeo and Juliet, so I have watched it many times.
Is she here today?
She is here today and she's brought one of her little friends with her, so they're both very excited about it.
What are you looking forward to in Sherlock Gnomes?
Oh, I don't know really. I suppose I just want to see kind of what's happened with the characters, Are the Montagues and Capulets all still happy together? I don't know. And what's the mystery? Why do we need Sherlock Gnomes? I'm intrigued.
What was it like working with all the other actors?
It's one of the most fun parts of the process, actually, because first of all, we have an amazing cast of big A-list actors, and they're all amazing talents, and they're all really nice people, and so that's fun. You
play Moriarty. What's it like playing a traditional baddie, and who's your favourite baddie?
Oh, my favourite baddie of all time, I think Severus Snape is a very good baddie, because he's actually a goodie in a weird way, and it feels quite nice to be a baddie, because in this sort of film even baddies are sort of goodies because they're silly and colourful,
I understand it's set in London this time. Did you have any other ideas before you picked London?
Well, we did actually start to develop the movie in Stratford still with Sherlock Gnomes, but then Sherlock is such a character known for living in Baker Street and working and being around London and solving mysteries. We thought, well, we have to transport the story to London, and the great thing about that is that then we can travel around London with Sherlock and see all of the amazing buildings and things, so it was really fun.
Could you tell us a little bit about what a producer does?
The producer is the person who comes up with the plan and then gets the money and makes the whole project, so makes the film. So we start with nothing and we end up with a finished film. And that means hiring every person that does every job on the whole film, making sure that we deliver on time and on budget.
What was it like returning to the role of Paris? Because I understand you were in the last film.
I was in the last film, and what's lovely about doing these sorts of films is that you get to they let me sort of play around a lot. So they record your voice and then they animate the film afterwards, and so they'll let me joke around, and they'll let me ad-lib and improvise and make jokes up and make things up and help you sort of fill up the character and expand the character, and you don't get to do that on lots of projects, so that's really good fun.
What's Paris been up to since we last saw him?
Well, as far as I can tell, since we last saw him, he's like the other gnomes. He's been living in a garden in Stratford, and then when this film begins, they're moved from Stratford upon Avon to London town, and so it's a whole new adventure in the big wide world of London.
What advice would you give for actors wanting to start up?
Just go for it, believe in yourself, and have a thick skin, because unfortunately there is a lot of rejection and trying to get parts in auditions that don't go your way, but just keep the faith in yourself. Don't worry if you don't get a job. It's not because you're not good, it's because you maybe don't look right, or someone else has just come in and had a slightly better day than you, so keep plugging away and keep trying your best.
Do lots of it. Do as much of it as you can do. Read lots of film scripts and play scripts, and just do lots of acting. I know that sounds silly, but if you want to be a football player, you practice football. You play football every day of your life. If you want to be an actor, try and act every day of your life. Because a lot of people want to be actors, but they just wait about going like, oh, I can't get any work. You're like, well, you're not an actor then if you're not acting. So make sure you act. And if that means like reading plays and doing speeches to your mum and dad, then do it.
My advice would be to keep at it, and if you do get the chance to do it, enjoy it, because that's the thing that's going to make the whole thing work. And enjoyment is enjoyment, so it'll be fun.
You're really great at interviewing as well. Do you have any interviewing presenting tips for me?
Well, I think you're doing a great job because you're listening. You know, a lot of people, they don't listen to the person they're interviewing, they just ask questions. And I think the important thing about interviewing is listening to what the person's saying, and then it feels more like a conversation.
If you were an inanimate object that magically came to life, what would you be?
Oh my God, what an amazing question. This is brilliant. An inanimate object that magically came to life.
I would probably be a unicorn or a pegasus so I could fly or make magic.
Oh, what, like a statue of one? See, if we're doing statues of animals, that really just opens the game up here. I don't know, if you're talking statues, then statues of like eagles and things like that would be good. But if you're talking like just an inanimate object, I don't know, maybe a wardrobe.
I would be something like, I'd be something like one of the lions in Trafalgar Square. I think that would be pretty cool, because you would, I think like an animal like a lion is something to be proud of. So I'd be that. Yeah.
A sword, because magical swords that imbue their wielder with powers and all that are so cool. So something like Excalibur, that'd be awesome.
A fork. I don't know why. I like forks.
I would maybe be a bed, because I'm quite a sleepy man.
A stuffed cat.
Why?
Soft, squishy, and a little feline.
What would I be if I could be an inanimate object that comes to life? The problem is, do I want to scare people or do I want to help people? Because if I was going to be scary, imagine being one of those Madame Tussauds waxworks, and let's say of something scary like Frankenstein, and then you suddenly come alive. I mean, you could have some fun with that.
Yeah.
They were supposed to live happily ever after. But when their world is in danger...
Julia, the gnomes, they're all gone.
There's only one gnome to call.
What the fertilizer?
I'm Sherlock Gnomes, sworn protector of garden gnomes. You mean, except for the one you literally just broke?
Broken? Who's broken? Oh my God!
In 2018...
All ahead, full, Watson!
Those gnomes are in terrible danger.
From the director of Kung Fu Panda.
We can't let anyone hear this, but they're going to smash us all tomorrow night.
Smashed? This guy said we're all going to be smashed tomorrow.